Okay, we are live. Our goal today is to finish vibe, the lead magnet, which is you're going to see the prototype very soon. Um, I have to say I cheated a bit. Before this call, I worked on it for for an hour or so, and we have a we will have a prototype very soon, and we're just going to build it. It's a completely agentic solution to do competitor analysis. And what I did was to, apart from working on the prototype, if you saw yesterday where we left off, we are going to build the whole thing on Vercel infrastructure. Vercel is great for these days. They've been building all kinds of products, and yeah, I'm gonna build on top of Vercel. Let me see. This is it. So they've got all kinds of stuff to build any kind of product, right? So the cool thing about building on Vercel is because they have all of these products, we don't have to pay for many services. So, for example, you would need a service to do the AI agentic workflow. You would need a service to host your web app. You need a service to monitor your agent workflow. You also need a service to store all the data. There are many such things. I can show you all the different things that goes into building an agentic platform. So because Vercel takes care of all of this, we don't have to maintain many services. And I have spent a bit of time on this in the past, and maintaining many services is such a pain. It's just you spend a lot more time just fixing bugs in services and less time in building the product. So this time I'm not making that mistake. It might cost a bit more into just putting all your services in one, and that's what we're going to do today. Even the AI gateway is going to go through Vercel. So if you don't know what AI gateway is, something similar to Open Router or where you actually consume your AI models, right? So that is a cool feature we get through building on Vercel. Here, what you see is I have two chats going on right now in my Codex app. In one, the prototype is being built, and in the second one, uh, am sort of brainstorming what is the tech architecture or how do I build this thing, right? So I just opened my Whisper Flow and just typed a lot of things, what I want. I need to decide tech architecture. I want to understand the requirement. So I said, don't throw out the tech architecture first, but just like understand my requirement first, and then we decided. And then I explained what is going to happen in this whole flow. It also has the actual prototype in context. So it can go look at the prototype and understand what we're building. And basically, I just explain like the things I know, the tech I know, and let it figure out if that's the tech I really need. And it went into all sorts of questioning in terms of what do I need? Does it have to be automated? What would happen when you click on something? It actually went deep into understanding the prototype. So I said I'm still refining what goes into the prototype, the data points that we will scrape, and I would assume maybe 70% of what I have will be built because so far it's just like the prototype that we have. And to a refresher on how we built the prototype, we just took, so I understood what people are searching for on Google. And one of the key terms people are searching for is free competitor tool. And I did the same search, and that led me to this uh, template that Atlassian and many other uh, tools had for this purpose. So I just took one of those templates. There was a pre-filled template that Crayon had online somewhere, which was extremely useful because that literally had the entire competitor analysis deliverable for a dummy company. So I took that and then I just turned it into a web app. And now I have that web app and I'm just cleaning up that web app as the prototype. We probably wouldn't build everything in this prototype because this looks extremely exhaustive. We will probably scope out some parts for V1. And our ultimate goal is to, of course, build this as a free tool and just give it away. But for like two or three, I still haven't decided, maybe just like one or two reports that they can, anyone who signs up can generate. And once they generate it, they can do more things with it. And as they use it for other purposes, then I set up a call with them and then I talk to these users and try to understand what do they exactly want and tell them that this feature has not been shipped yet and I'm happy to ship it for them and then maybe get an upfront payment for before doing this work. And that's the high level plan. Um, okay. I'm going to play some brain.fm for, okay, because why is it not signed in? Because I'm on incognito, brain.fm. For, if you don't know what brain.fm is, it's a really cool uh, just music for work. It's very effective. I hope you can hear this. Okay, so let's go back. Um, You can see ChatGPT working on the prototype here. Superpowers take such a long time to complete, even if it's in inline execution. Or is it superpowers on Terra extra high? I'm not sure. So what it's saying here is that uh, sometimes when an AI model is in this agentic workflow, it can keep going in loops and it can keep doing multiple tool calls. And if you don't set a limit on how many tool calls it should go, it might just misread a situation and keep going in this infinite tool call loop. And each tool call costs money. So I think that's why it's saying retry individual steps with exponential back off. There needs to be some thought put into how many steps. And I don't know what this exponential back off is, and that's why I've asked it what does that mean? And send exhausted module failures to admin review. We don't know who is this admin review, and if it's going to send these technical errors back to the user, that's not going to be useful. So we need to figure out how to deal with this in the background if this is happening, right? What we're doing here is just complete tech discovery of like which services we're going to use and how we're going to run it. We still haven't decided the exact how, but we're just thinking of the high level architecture. Exponential backoff means waiting progressively longer between automatic retries. I see. Okay, so that makes sense. There could be a wide range of reasons why this could happen. For example, your you might be out of credits and your AI would return no credit message back, and then your system just doesn't proceed after it, and it's just stuck in that loop, and you need to get it unstuck. So there are lots of ways this could fail. Software cannot itself repair a revoked credential, a suspended vendor account, or code effect. Admin reviews for research quality judgment. So uh, there was a time when this was when I was working on this. This was very fuzzy because what is factored as a research quality that wasn't very clear when you were building it. So okay, contradictory credible sources, insufficient public evidence, a conclusion that fails. We don't need that, right? So if there is no research, if there is no evidence found, we capture it in the report. But otherwise, yeah, we should we should try to manage most of the process without um, requiring user input. Yeah, I think what I'm trying to say here is that if we are going to keep talking to the user and try to understand, try to ask different questions in different parts of this research, they're not going to be around to answer it because we will take an input and then we will go work on it. And then when it's done, we just send an email to the user. And that's a much easier workflow to do than just constantly going back and forth with the user. After company confirmation email verification, the workflow requires no further user input. Every field requires blah. Missing or conflicting evidence does not block publication. Okay. The report states what was searched, the snapshot date and limitation, importantly, no evidence found. Should we use a recommended workflow only approach with two research modules and no direct? I don't understand this. Returning to concurrency, should we use the recommended workflow only approach with two research modules running concurrently per report, which we agreed, automatic recovery, and no direct versal queue initially? Yes, but what do you mean no direct versal queue initially? Redesign complete. Okay, so finally it's done. Let's take a look at it. Run this app locally. Okay, well, it still looks a bit awful. It could be a lot better, and I honestly thought this uh, the impeccable style will make something better, but it's okay. We will see what it does. So reporting period. Oh, wow, it has a reporting period. Competitor said direct course platform. Okay, overview briefing. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's still um, pretty plain. That's what I'd say. But I think with another simple design system, it could look much better. But I mean, we are right now not focused on the UI. Let's get the product right, and then we go into the UI. Let me open this on the browser so it's a bit more clearer. Okay. Oh, this is extremely exhaustive. So right now, the logical next step would be to curate all this information source, not source, curate all this information and decide if it's worth keeping or not. And I want to do it like step by step, and I want AI to sort of guide me through this because it seems like a lot of work. And I don't want to spend this much work, so I'm going to see how I can simplify this process, right? So here's how I'm thinking of approaching. Let me keep the prototype on the side. Actually, I can open it here. Let me close this so there's more space. Okay, so now I want to go section by section and review if this information is necessary and if we are deciding to keep it or not, right? And I want you to take each section and make sure we have full coverage of all the different sections in this prototype. And you need to give me first like a one line summary, a 1 to 2 line summary of what it is, why is it required, how does this help, and write this from the point of view of from the point of view of our target persona. You have context of our ICP for whom we are building this product. Use this as a reference while answering these questions. So, for example, in the briefing, we will start from the overview, go down to market, team, product, marketing, sales, and so on. So, in overview, first we look at briefing, and then we see, okay, the first thing we are showing is executive signals. So, you're going to say, okay, let's review executive signals. And within executive signals, you say, what is that thing? So you give me a quick summary of here we are giving a score to different aspects of this product. So it scores an 82 on 100 for integrated business tooling as an example. And in also add like what are these like different things, like what is this tag, uh, synthetic observation, and then and you have the date, right? So I mean skip the date. So then after you then your question to me is should we keep it or not, or is there a way we should modify it? And then I will give you my response and address it in the prototype right away, and then move to the next section. And then we go into prioritized findings and just same one line description of what it is, why do we need it, and all of that. And in this sequence, we keep going uh, section by section until we finish the report. That was a long prompt. I'm going to switch it back to Sol for this. So it knows what I'm trying to do. A fast strategic scorecard showing where Kajabi appears completely strong, competitively strong, and where leadership may need to respond. Okay. Um, why it helps? Scorecard. Okay. As a product marketing pricing strategy or a CI leader, multi-product vertical SaaS company, I can use this to orient myself before examining the underlying comparisons. How strongly Kajabi combines commerce. Let's remove it. Yeah, I don't think the score really adds any value here, so maybe it might just be a redundant thing to show. We can remove this part and let's keep just the prioritized findings. But then I think we need to have a bit of a bit of a better copywriting that is a little more human readable, uh, and like just use like some sort of a better separation between each finding. And it should the prioritized finding should also indicate how it found it, like what did it notice, right? And like it should be a part of this observation text. So in the observation, keep the same observation why it matters and recommended action. And within this, like the way you phrase it, what did you observe from where? Try to highlight that. And if there's any evidence, just like link it in line. I think this whole section looks very cluttered and not linked to the insights where it's showing. So let's just remove this and have it in line as I explained before. This section also seems redundant. Let's remove it. This section is also redundant. Let's remove this one. We don't need a separate tab for report scope. We can just remove this entire tab and the contents inside is not necessary. I think I need to have that deck that was initially created with me so that I can kind of compare what it did. So, this is a really dry deck to go through. Executive summary. Highlight the top key takeaways from your analysis to be detailed in the rest of the presentation. Great opportunities. So you get leverage, call out the strength where the company can double down or go even faster, and call out the weaknesses. My God, this is a lot of AI slop that is just over-engineered. I think we need to go step by step and just prioritize what is important from this deck. I think this is getting incredibly slow. I am going to go back to the terminal and then see if I can just do it from there. Um, Let me give one more shot at the skill and see if it can just. I think the problem is the last time I used the skill, it didn't just respect it. Just I don't think it even used the skill. So let me see if it has impeccable. It has impeccable. Okay, I want you to redesign the entire uh, web app with impeccable skill. See, it again goes into superpowers, and I am not saying superpowers. I need to remove the superpowers. Fine. See, Codex has some real issues. Um, let's see if I can just remove this entirely. Uninstall plugin. I'm going to restart this, and this time I will take a completely different approach. I will go slide by slide and then make it instead of me trying to one shot this. I think the problem is me one shotting the whole thing. So I will start from fresh, and I don't have to use this, right? So I can actually let me first clean up the folder and okay. So many prototypes. So archived. Let me put all of these, including delete that superpower. All of this, I'm going to throw it into archived, and I think text spec should be here. And where is this tech spec? Let me grab this from. Okay, so I will keep this tech spec, but otherwise, I think everything. I'll delete this too. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and Sunlight prototype, and I will get this document here, and let me start afresh. And I think now I know exactly how to do this um, without overwhelming myself with all of this information, right? Okay, so first let me start a Vite project. I will start with the template, right? Vite dashboard, chat CN UI dashboard template. Okay, this is a better place to start. I also have Vite, copy command, yeah. So files and folders, Sunlight prototype. Okay, in this folder, create a new project, uh, create a scaffold, a new a scaffold, a dashboard with dummy scaffold, a new dashboard with ShadCN UI configuration. Keep it minimal, no data. We just need a starter template. Okay, so maybe this is a much better way to start building it because we start with uh, an empty view, a starter, and then we go one by one with the deck, and then we try to design the UI for it, for each one. And we do this process for a few slides, and then AI hopefully understands what I'm trying to get at, and then it will try to imitate the same process. And rather than me trying to one shot it without clear instructions on how exactly do I want it. So instead of me having to explain how I want it, let it observe how I do it and then kind of replicate it. That's a much better approach. I've realized this many times over in the past, but it always comes back to trying this one shotting and always failing. Okay, I think at this point I give up using the ChatGPT app. It's so bad. It I uninstalled Superpowers and it's still using it and it's extremely slow. I definitely need to use the CLI anymore. I'm done with Superpower. I'm done with the ChatGPT app for now. There are still a lot of other free open source versions like I think this is Open Router. No, not Open Router. Open Code. Open Code is also a great alternative because they're open source. They have pretty good. You can see they've got a lot. They've got pretty good reviews, um, stars. This could be another option. I think I already have it installed. See, I could use Open Code instead and try this. This is one of those times it's maybe just easier to work on the terminal directly and type your own command. Takes an insane amount of time to just scaffold a simple web app. It's just you staring at the screen for such a long time is just it's just ridiculous how much time you just spend staring at the screen when you're building something, waiting for it to finish. This is a serious problem. I hope that gets solved about building soon in this tooling space. Okay, wow. Finally, it's done. The most basic thing takes an insane amount of time. This is not what I expected. Let's see. At least I hope this looks somewhat okay. Fine. Uh, we can work with this. At least it's using the Shatsi UI, and I believe all the components are installed. Okay, great. So let me go back to the best model. So okay, so our goal is to turn this market analysis, competitive analysis study deck into a web app. We are going to go section by section or slide by slide and figure out how to represent the same information in a fill state for a an example company and fill it up with data that is readable and easy to uh, understand and highlights the most important information necessary for a founder or someone working in marketing or strategy. Uh, do not go and create the entire web app yourself already. First, understand the requirement, go through the slide deck, and confirm if you get what I'm trying to say. And we will go one by one. I will manually guide you through designing 4 or 5 components one by one. And then, based on what you learn from our approach, continue the same across all the slides. Confirm after if you've understood the requirement, and then we will start with the first component. Okay, so we just say like get this goal into your context window and understand what we're doing, and we will what? No, we just want to remove this fast. Okay, so we just want to say, look, I hope you get what I'm trying to say, and this is the deck, and we will start working on this right now. And yeah, we're going to do it all manually right now. We're not going to get it to one shot anything anymore. I think we did this twice and learned the hard way that it doesn't work. Good. It understood what I'm trying to do. Okay, so first let's rename the dashboard to the first section of the slides, which is market overview in the side nav bar. Just rename that. No, it should be called executive summary. And also there should be other uh, navbar links, which is market, team, product, marketing, and sales. Okay, so now let's work inside the executive summary slide. So executive summary. Let's make one UI to indicate the competitors that we are that we evaluated, and it could be like just design it in one UI, similar to how we are following from the deck in the PDF deck, and just we would just want to say like take Kajabi as an example and just like try to show 5 competitor logos with like the name of the company and the link to the website below. That's it. Just make a UI for that. Also, as highlighted in the deck, show if it's a direct or an indirect competitor. And not just 5, let's make a list of, say, 8 competitors. Note that we are just basically doing what slide 8 from the deck has, and we're just trying to replicate it. So just capture that in your learnings. It doesn't have to be so big. Just use one line to show all the competitors next to each other. Just make the whole column height a bit narrower. We will have a maximum of 8 competitors. So we also need to accommodate the case where there are 7 competitors or 6 competitors. So just make the UI fluid enough uh, to decide based on the number of competitors the UI adjusts itself. Okay, it already planned a scroll, so I think this is fine. So next section, in the next card, we need to have key takeaways. So see how, see the instruction in the slides on the key takeaways section in, I believe, slide number 9, and try to use a very similar key takeaways, as in try to read what the key takeaway has said about how to phrase your key takeaways and just come up with like about 10 to 15 key takeaways, and yeah, just make that for now. The deck says how you can design the UI too, where it says highlight strengths and weaknesses. You can use tags to indicate a strength, and you can use tags to indicate a weakness. So try to use that knowledge. You can also call out opportunities as explained in that text. Don't use grid boxes everywhere. Like make it readable. So let each key takeaway be in one row, and there doesn't need to be a horizontal divider between two key takeaways. It can be a bulleted list. So think of it as someone who's reading this rather than having to put boxes everywhere. I also want a confidence score against each in the bullet point. Put the whole thing inside a card anyway. Every chunk of information should be inside a card. Confidence shouldn't be a percentage, should be high confidence, medium, or low confidence. Show confidence like a tag and combine that with the tag for strength weaknesses and just use like place position these tags on the right and let the bullet points flow naturally. Let the tags be aligned to the left, starting from the rightmost, and Add a padding from the left edge to the bullet points so that it's easier to read. After the key takeaways heading and subheading, add a divider similar to the first card you created. Remember this as a design pattern for future. Okay, now let's work on the market slide, the market section of the web app. Take a look at slide 11 in the PDF. Let's try to create a very similar picture in a card and show all these competitors placed in this sort of indirect competitor grid. In key takeaways, I want you to like once more revise the design. Don't show bullet points, show the text and show the tags below the text and add a padding between two lines of text. Actually, you can remove the competitors evaluated card because competitive landscape and competitors evaluated seem redundant, repetitive. So let's just keep one, keep the competitive landscape and remove the first one. Don't truncate the text before it reaches the full width of that card. And you can make the entire card uh, the width of all the cards a bit smaller than it is right now. Actually, remove this tag for um, high confidence and the the strength weakness as well. Instead, just make it sections and let's just use simple bullet points. See Vercel docs as an example for design inspiration. Okay, let's move to the next slide, the financial snapshot. See, look at the tabular representation in the slides. I want a different view, a more UI friendly view of the same information in a card below called financial snapshot. I want you to use instrument serif font for all the titles. Okay, we will stop for now. I might stream a little later, but I think for today, this is, yeah, we need to take a break right now.